she asked her grandmother for a pair of mittens.
Can I have a snow that's white as well snow?
At first, her Baba did not want to knit her white mittens. She said, if you, what will happen? If you drop them in the snow, you will lose them. But Nikki really wanted snow white mittens, so she asked again.
Yes, can I have a snow white that's white?
And finally, Baba made them for her. After she had finished and she had given them to Nikki, she said, when you come home, first, I'll see if you're safe and sound, and then I will look to see if you have your snow white mittens. So off Nikki went to play, and it wasn't long before she had dropped one of her mittens in the snow. A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten, and he burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size, so he decided to stay. A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. She stopped for a minute to admire her winter coat. It was then that she saw the mitten and she wiggled in, feet first. The mole didn't think there was enough room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. Next came two hedgehogs. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, they decided to move into the mitten and warm themselves. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being ones to argue with someone covered with prickles, they made room. As soon as the hedgehog had disappeared into the mitten, you want your daddy?
Fly here. Come on here.
Fly here.
Come on, Kai. Come see Mrs. Lucy. Come here. Kai, come here.
An owl swooped
Okay,
by.
go sit down with Mrs.
Come sit with
Lucy.
Mrs. Lucy.
Go sit down.
He decided to move in also. The mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. Grumbled.
Rumble, 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 rumble,
But
rumble.
when they saw the owl's glinty talons, they quickly let him in. Up through the snow came a badger. She eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehogs, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left, but when they saw her diggers, they gave her the thumb. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A warm waft of steam rose in the air, and a fox trotted by, stopping to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy, and he poked his muzzle in. When the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehogs, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. Next, two great big bears lumbered by. They spied the mitten all plumped up, and not being ones to be left out in the cold, they began to nose their way in. The animals were packed in as tightly as could be, but what animal's gonna argue with bears? The mitten swelled and stretched. It was pulled and bulged to many times its size, but Baba's good knitting held fast. Along came two little meadow mice, no bigger than acorns. They wiggled into the spaces left, made themselves comfortable on top of the great bear's noses. Debbie said, make room for the mice.
Scooch back, Anna. Yeah, scooch back and make room for Sam.
The bears, tickled by the mice's
Hi, Daddy. Hiya. Get up. Stand on the line.